Hey, good morning. It's Dr. Brian McCarley with another episode of Doc About Town. And we are here today with Becky Terry, who is the executive director. Is that right?
That's
Executive
correct.
director of the Boys and Girls Club of Noblesville. So, Becky, welcome.
Thanks. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Thanks for joining us this morning. And we are here on site at the Boys and Girls Club, as you saw the sign. And so we're going to just talk a little bit about the Boys and Girls Club and kind of Becky's story, as well as the evolution of the Boys and Girls Club here in Noblesville. So those of us who've been around here a while remember the Boys and Girls Club when it was like down the street. Some maybe all the way back when it was downtown. Tell
Okay.
us a little bit about the history here.
Sure, I'll do my best. So we started here in 1951, as you know, up in the third floor of the former Kirk's Hardware building.
Okay.
And it was in the former Knights of Pythias, Hall of the Knights of Pythias.
Oh, wow.
So I liken that to like maybe Knights of Columbus
Okay.
kind
Sure.
of organization. The third floor, from what I'm told, had a games room and a wood shop, and there was even a basketball court up there.
Oh, wow.
So if you do like the upstairs downtown event with Main Street that they hold, you can go up there and see that space, and it's pretty cool to see the history of where we started. We moved to the building down the road, the old high school, in 1969 and opened our facility there, and we lived there until we moved here in 2018.
Okay, wow, that's a long time to be in that location,
Absolutely.
and that's the one that I originally remember when we moved to Noblesville back in '85. So, lots of basketball games and things in there, and yeah, that's great.
Yes, a lot of alumni
Yeah,
remember, both of those buildings and kind of the memories and the history and, their childhood is attached to those places.
sure. That's why I know a lot of the guys I went to high school with still talk about their time there playing basketball there growing up and those kind of things. So
Oh,
that's really
yeah.
cool.
That second floor gym was, one of a kind.
Oh yeah, with the where you walk around the perimeter and look down into the
Yes.
into the court, that was really wild. So you guys moved to this location in 2018, but there have been a couple of iterations of the facility here as well, right? There's been some expansions that have happened since 2018, right?
That's true. In 2004, we opened what we call the community center, which is this building directly behind us.
Okay.
Our sports program had grown so large that it was kind of negatively impacting the after school program
Okay.
because it was kind of overtaking that a little bit. And so the board at the time said, let's build this community center where we can house our own programs, but also offer space for other partners to come in and utilize when we weren't programming it. And
Okay.
so in 2018, when we're really proud of that, 2015, when the board decided it was time for us to start thinking about what was next building wise for the after school program, knowing that Conner Elementary sit here was vacant, was somewhere we could kind of combine our services, make one campus for us. This seemed like the perfect spot for the new club.
That's awesome. Well, and the facility here is amazing. Well, let's take a walk and we'll kind of walk inside a little
Sure.
bit here, and we'll just keep talking. So, tell us about programming wise. What kind? I know you guys do after school programming. There's basketball leagues. Tell us a little more about the programming. What is the Boys and Girls Club about, and what do you guys do for the kids of the community? I guess
Sure.
that's a really broad question.
It's a really, well, and I think for us, that's a question that there's so many answers to that it's hard for us to explain what we do very succinctly because we do so much. But our main purpose is to provide a safe and impactful programming for youth ages 5 to 18.
Okay.
And so we're doing out of school time programming. So whether that be after school or on breaks. So we're getting ready to come up on summer break. So we're gearing up for two programs. We have our Camp Crosser program and our Club Daybreak program. But I think our viewers are probably going to see this after summer has already began.
Yes, that's true. That's
So we'll be in the midst of summer. There'll be kids running around everywhere. But we focus on academic success, healthy lifestyles, and good character and citizenship within our programs.
Oh,
and
that's
again,
awesome.
serving kindergartners all the way through age of 18.
Wow. And see, I guess I never realized it went to that high of an age group. I always thought
Yeah.
it was kids, like teens, preteens, maybe.
Right.
That's great. That's great.
So they can come here to the club every day. And we, like I said, we offer programming, but we do things like computer lab. We have a computer lab, technology lab, where they do robotics. They learn coding.
Oh,
They
wow.
learn the basics of the computer. They learn Microsoft Word. things like that they're going to need to use to be functioning in our society, 21st century skills, job wise as well. We have an art room where they can be creative. They can um, we found that space is really helpful mentally. When kids need to decompress or they have a lot of feelings, they can go in the art room and just kind of put that all that energy into building something, creating something, drawing something. We have a tutoring program. We do field trips, both recreational and academic. For example, we take our teens on club tours. I'm sorry, college tours, so that they can learn and be exposed to things, maybe to broaden their perspectives and think bigger than maybe what they have encountered in their day to day. So, character and leadership development programs, community service programs, our sports programs. We do offer, like you mentioned, the basketball program. We do that for youth. We also do that for high schoolers. And then we also have volleyball program for both K through 8 and then a high school program as well. We offer a small cheerleading program. And then again, the facility is open for other uses, and it does provide a revenue stream for us to support our main focus, which is our youth development programming.
Okay. So tell us a little bit, Becky, about how you kind of came to be part of the Boys and Girls Club. You were talking to us a little bit about this before we started rolling the camera, but tell us about your history a little bit.
Well, I always enjoyed being around young people. I'm kind of with that token of I always babysat when I was in junior high, high school. That was kind of how I made my spending money. I went to college and I was a big sister with big brothers, big sisters. And I also worked at the YMCA for a summer. So I just had this passion for youth and youth development, and that just kind of seemed to click for me. Then I did an internship out of college and got connected with the Indianapolis clubs and started my career there way back in the day. And I came here to Noblesville 14 years ago today. And so just really blessed to have a career that I'm passionate about, one that fulfills me and keeps me motivated. I love that my office is here in the club. That way I can feel the energy coming off the kids. I can hear them laughing. I can hear them saying, "Oh," when their parents are here to pick them up and they're not ready to go home yet. Sure. It just kind of, keeps us here motivated and wanting to do more and more and make sure that we have the best club that we can for kids. Kids deserve a place where they can be built up, they can be supportive, that they have adult positive role models, and a place where they can just really be kids. Sure. Right? So we really want the kids to be able to come here. They have a lot of choices while they're here. It's their club. And so they can choose to go to the art room, or they can choose to go play a game of pool in the games room, or they can be part of a program like our cooking club or our art club, where it's a little more defined and routine.
So when you were just talking about that, you were talking about the kids and it's their club. Your expression changed a little bit. Obviously, there's some emotion behind this for you too.
Oh, absolutely.
What's some of the, maybe a story or two that you can think of that's really keeps you coming back? Because I can't imagine it's always fun and always rainbows and sunshine and there's tough days, right?
There are.
What are some of the stories that say this is why I keep going back?
Gosh, we've had so many kids and families that just express their gratitude for what we provide. We become invested. Our team here truly cares about each individual kid. They truly care about the families. And so, for example, it might be that a volunteer parent expresses their gratitude to one of our staff members, or we might have a kid that is just kind of in trouble day after day after day, but our team continues to work with them and provide them guidance, provide them with that mentorship, and you can just slowly start to see that behavior change, and that they value coming here, and that is a carrot for them, because they love coming here so much that they're willing to start adapting and changing their behavior so that they can continue to be a member here and participate in the things that we offer. But I really think it's the connection that our team has with those kids that keeps them coming back. It's not that they get to come here and play pool.
Sure.
It's that they get to come here and see Miss Abby, or they get to come here and see Miss Wendy or Miss Maggie, and they have that emotional, and someone has their back.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
and not to say that they don't have that through their family or someone at school, but as we all know, it takes a village to raise a kid.
Sure.
And provide them with what they need. And we're just really in the business of providing hope and opportunity here. And to see these kids have that when they walk through the door, and that they know that they can become the best version of themselves, that's what we want. We want great futures for all of our kids.
Well, that best version of themselves really speaks to me. That's what we love to do in our business too. And so I love that you guys are out there doing it with kids starting early. That's awesome. So what do you see as next for the Boys and Girls Club here in Noblesville? What's on the horizon? What's the vision going forward? Because this facility is awesome. This obviously didn't just happen. It somebody had a plan here and somebody had an idea. What's the next idea? Where are we headed from here?
Well, that's a great question. We have our strategic plan that the board just developed and kind of ratified, and that we're working towards. But I think right now it's really about bigger, better, bolder. So taking what we're already doing and just what's the next iteration of that,
Okay.
Mainly within what we already have established. Just working towards building program and program quality, maybe bringing in some new ideas, some new programs, but also starting to think outside of this, right? And so the board is challenging themselves to kind of asking themselves that same question.
Okay.
What is next? So I don't have an answer really.
Sure.
But I will say, like, it is in conversations.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And so what you're telling me basically is that you don't have an answer necessarily because it's still in the works, but
Right.
you have a board who is actively pursuing that. What is next? How do we take this to the next level?
Absolutely.
How do we plus this? So
Yes.
that's awesome.
And I
Cool.
feel like our team, our program team, and our development team, like everyone we have on board, I cannot stress enough how great our staff is and how great our board is, because I think it takes all of that to have a great organization, and I feel like we have that, and so that's going to allow us to continue to build.
That's awesome. I love hearing that. That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us this morning. Is there anything else that you thought we might talk about that I didn't think to bring up?
The support we get from the community is unmatched. It is absolutely phenomenal. Our ladies auxiliary, our donors, the business community, we get so much strong support that we're just very grateful for that. And I just want to take the opportunity to say thank you
That's
to
awesome.
everyone. If you're an alumni, we'd love to get you involved. We're going to start building up. That's one thing that's maybe coming, is trying to work more towards on re-engaging our alumni and getting them re-involved and re-engaged in what we do. And then we're also building our endowment. So we're always looking for new people to help us. If we build that endowment, it gives us more freedom, more ability to sustain longer into the future.
Sure.
And so that's something we're really focused on right now as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Becky, for taking the time to meet with us this morning. Obviously an amazing facility. If you don't know the Boys and Girls Club, hopefully this gives you a snippet of it, and stop by and see them. Maybe you can volunteer, or maybe you've got kiddos that could benefit from what the great work is that they're doing here. So thanks again.
Thanks for having me. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Thanks also to the Elks, who has helped to sponsor this and help us bring this show to you. So check them out as well. It's a great club. They do a lot of great work here in the community as well. And as always, I'm Dr. Brian McCarley with Doc About Town, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode.